ladies and gentlemen. It's Crisis169 coming to you with another live stream. How are you guys doing today? I'm here, you're there. Get on to this is my last bit of gaming news of the week until I go back to work on Friday. Just checking my messages here to make sure. Um, I found this article out as I was doing other things around and looking for news and stuff like that, news and topics to talk about. Um, it's over here on Trend Force. It says that notebook prices, due to rising memory, due to rising memory costs, CPU prices could push up mainstream notebook and desktop prices nearly 40%. For mainstream notebooks, MSRP $900. That's mainstream stuff. Retail for 30%, combination CPU increases, total prices hike could approach 40%. If memory and CPU prices simultaneously, their combination size notebook, this is mostly about notebooks across multiple platforms, but it doesn't mean that this is not going to affect, um, gaming GPUs. It may not be 100%. I put in desktop and I wrote down rising memory and CPU, but you know, um, most you got to just understand cost can push it up 40%. And this is not from Trend Force, stuff like that. And it talks about the DR DRAM issue under normal DRAM, to 15% notebook. But it's saying that it's using 40% because you had 40%. Because right now, the basic scenario baseline mainstream notebook with a $900 MSRP, first quarter 2025, elevated potential impact increases to retail pricing of about 40%. So it's 40% of that. Now, quote one, first quarter one, DRM, SSD CPU prices, DRAM, 45%. And first quarter 2026, they're at 58%. This is the kind of trend that we don't want to see, that we're seeing, that I said is going to affect multiple things. Myself, Jay's 2 cents, Gamers Nexus, you can go on and on and on. We all talked about we all talked about rising costs in other areas that could happen. GPUs have gone up. Notebook GPUs are going to go up. The gaming laptop, notebooks, laptops. A lot of things are happening. And why is that? Because of RAM issue. DDR5 is becoming more and more scarce because they're sending all their memory die, memory stuff, and even SSDs to data centers. Now, I read this and I watched the video when I found the video to watch on it because it wasn't really reported that much. And I'm kind of surprised it wasn't. But I think it will be later on by the bigger guys. The bigger guys will take it and run with it, and that's fine. But I put them in the description too because these guys you need to know too as well. They probably already know. But I came across this one earlier today when I was doing some research. I was doing some, cleaning my computer, and I started, looking around stuff, checking some news stories worthwhile to talk about. And I ran across this. Like, I go, what's this? And I've been saying the exact same thing for the last, couple months. We all have. Every YouTuber has a channel and is in tech and is also in tech, or a broadcast journalist, or if you're a tech guru, or you're someone like me who is dabbling a little bit of everything, you kind of have to take this not with a grain of salt, but take it with a little more than a grain of salt. Like, well, maybe something more going on with this, because DDR, the DRAM for VRAM for the graphics card has gone up tremendously. Hell, Nvidia has pretty much post postponed the making of Bit 6 Ti and 70 Ti's, 16 gig variants, and they've canceled the Super Series of 50 series cards. As of right now, they canceled them. They didn't trash them. They say, hey, we're going to postpone them. Now, maybe canceled a hard word. They postponed them. And that being something that's understandable right now because if people are buying 5090s or can't afford a 2060 or 5060 Ti or 5070, why are they going to buy a 5090? They can't afford to get the rigs built. They're not going to care about 5090 right now. They're trying to find something. So 5059 gig, once again, could fit in this situation. It was reasonably priced. But going back to the rising memory costs in laptops, in notebooks, it is 58% cost translated into retail increases, approaching 40% higher than brands distribute partners maintain their existing margins. So it's going to affect the degree of impact will directly in the depth operation ingestion all over again. In scale, notebook brand, and Intel tier one brands benefiting from long-term partnerships and long purchases of volume, more likely to see stable allocations. And favorable pricing, similar brands by contrast face greater cost pressure and shipping risk as CPU price increases and supply volatility occurs simulation or simultaneity. AMD CPUs have become more competitive as notebook brands increasingly adopt multi-platform strategies, boosting AMD market share. Through AMD supply has been stable before, recent reports indicate possible shortages in some entry-level AMD platforms, struggling to their CPU supply and now affecting the wider range of the market. TrendForce concludes that many memory supply conditions, CPU packaging strategies over quarters, key factors shaping global notebook shipments, trends, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Damn dog won't be quiet out there barking, of course, all the time. Um, and this was, let's see who posted about this one here. Uh, no, it doesn't give a source name, so I can't give it really the copyright needs. But let's say TrendForce is one that actually reported on it. Consumer Electronics, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that. There's no name here, so I'm gonna go out with that. But it means essentially the notebook prices are going up, CPUs. And we all know the CPU. I know we all know the AMD and Intel prices of their CPUs going up. Even the older ones. I've looked around sometimes online. I looked around on my phone or on the computer and noticed that some 5700Xs, 5600X have gone up in price a little more. Obviously, once people start buying more for our DDR4 and people start increasing prices for those um, DDR AM4 socket type of processors. Some of them are still going for $200. Um, that doesn't mean that it's going to be terrible. Oh my God, we should stop buying PC gaming. No, what I mean is though that's mostly for notebooking. If you're getting a notebook, yeah, you can go prices, but I would not be outdone or undone or jumping the gun here and saying that we could have a serious problem when it comes to CPUs for desktops, gaming desktops eventually, gaming CPUs. I would not be surprised if this doesn't carry over into the gaming landscape of our PC gaming to make it even more harder than it is right now. I'm saying that because I told you guys this stuff is going to get worse before it gets better. Told you guys countless times. There's no way we're going to have a 4 or 5 month relapse with this and it can be done. No, it's going to take probably a year or two for this finally to blow over. So 2027, 2028 at least. And that's bare minimum. Like I said, that's bare minimum. So to go back to it again, and say what is really happening is that I'm thinking that a lot of these people thought that CPU prices weren't going to increase because CPU is different than the RAM. Probably didn't think that these that these companies buying the RAM didn't need processors to actually communicate with it. Now they'll probably use some AMD or whatever, AMD or Intel $10,000 processors. They have stuff like that expensive for businesses, the business type processors. The expensive stuff, 10 grand or whatever. So let's say those are being used for that. But let's say they're making more of them because they make more of them. And let's say the die, this part of that die goes to the gaming side of that. If that's the case, then it's going to affect us eventually too on processor side. So we're going to have literally a four-way war between the GPUs, the SSDs, RAM, even some four-way dance between the CPUs, GPUs, RAM sticks, and the SSDs, all fighting, for our ripping dollars out of us left and right. And that could be the biggest problem. That this is going to be pretty much the death nail that slows down gaming. If this affects the CPU processors for gaming, your Intels, your AMDs, um, even NVIDIA thought about getting in the processor game at one time. Sorry, guys, but I don't know for sure how well it would be for them to do that. But I feel that if the CPUs go up in price, even laptop ones, and the gaming laptops follow, they're going to follow eventually. It's going to hit the desktop GPUs, the gaming GPUs eventually. Even non-gaming CPUs. I mean, CPUs are going to go up. Going to go up in price. And it's rough because you don't know for sure how long this is going to last. I'm constantly saying 2 years at least, and that's a minimum. Well, this news right here, 40% of notebooks going up, because notebooks are practically, laptops in a sense. They're just little different notebooks. They're different kind of laptops. They're more, take and go where you want to kind of things. I've seen notebooks before. The one I've seen are a lot bigger. There's a lot smaller laptops. I mean, notebooks, you can take them out and do stuff and close them up and go. With laptops, you have to close up and fold them. So even that, it still requires processor, RAM, SSD, stuff like that. It still requires all that. And that goes up in price. It's going to drain even more resources away. Well, people say, well, Crisis, the laptop notebook stuff is different than the SSD you use in your rig. Technically, it's not. Some SSDs, PS5, you can use on a gaming laptop or your computer. Some of them. Some third-party ones that you can use in your PlayStation 5. Not the name brand Sony one, but I mean the ones that you can use. Can be used on any one of them. As long as they fit the laptop or notebook configurations. Now, laptops you can upgrade more than notebooks, obviously, but and desktops are just humongous, like one I have. So you can actually, update them, add new SSDs. So yeah, so this shit just keeps getting better and better. I've been telling you guys this for since December. It's gonna get worse. It ain't gonna get better. Don't listen to those guys saying it's gonna be rainbows and sunshine and gumdrops, light bulbs falling out of the sky. We're gonna be in a fight for a while. And if you're new to PC gaming, hey, welcome aboard. But if you're new to PC gaming, you're finding out how much fun it's not. Normally, it ain't this chaotic. But with this damn AI crap going on, it's affecting everything. Like I've said before, guys, this is going to affect everything. This is not just a PC gaming. Oh my God, some fat guy complaining about RAM and da 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 da. It affects cars. It affects cell phones. It affects whatever hell else you guys have that has a damn CPU, RAM, and whatever processor and RAM in it. It's affecting more than just console gaming or PC gaming. It's affecting everything. Even business notebooks now are getting in the act of being charged. Some cost $900. They cost $1,900 or $2,000 $1,500 in the next couple of months. 40% $900 is a lot more money than most people won't even think about. So it's gonna be it's gonna be something. It could be $1,000, $1,200 easy, at least $1,000 to $1,500 easy. Because the companies want they can get their money back, so they're gonna mark it up. So if it's like 1,000, now say it's like $1,100 for his new notebook, and Best Buy wants some kickbacks, they're gonna raise it up an extra $300, full $300, just to get their kickbacks. So they have a little extra money for themselves. Because a lot of stores are pretty much going out of business or struggling because of online retailing. So it's guys, I've been saying this guys for a long time. Don't rest on the morals of thinking that I can wait until I strap a little more cash on my, no, I'm PC gaming. I think it's too late for people to get in PC gaming right now. I think it's too late to build from scratch, unless you build a bare bones, DDR5 bare bones computer with 16 gigabytes of DDR5, and you go cheap on everything, except power supply and the RAM, obviously, and the SSD. You want at least 1 terabyte storage, at least 1 terabyte storage, maybe two. So it's going to cost you about $300 right there. So you're going to have to spend probably close to $1,000, $1,100 anyway on it. Or you can go DDR5. Or grow what I've been saying for the last couple months is go Intel, buy 1200 1200 Intel, 12400, 12900 or whatever. And because it does support, some boards do support DDR4 and 5, and do DDR4 first, and when it gets down 2 years, hopefully you can switch over to DDR5 and not worry about that. But that right now it's going to be a difficult thing for people. I think people are going to have a hard time understanding this. Now, why is Christ talking about laptop notebook things? Because of what I've been saying for the last 2.5, 3 months. It's going to affect everything, and it's affecting everything. Like the T virus. It's like Skynet, hooked in everything. It's getting its hand in every little thing it can think of. So, guys, I'm telling you, it's not something that I want to talk about, fun-wise. This is really difficult to talk about because it's proving my point. But my point shouldn't be proven like this. I want to be wrong about this stuff. I want to be wrong about GPU prices going up. I want to be wrong about GPU prices. I want to be wrong about the RAM issues. I want to be wrong with this stuff. I don't want to be right about this crap. I don't want to be right about this stuff. I don't want to be right about this. I don't want to be right about having to sit there and say, "Hey, I told you guys so." I don't want to be honest. I don't want to be right about this. Who wants to be right about having the fact that 40% of a notebook CPUs are going to go up and it can cost 40% more on the CPUs, cost $900 res anyway. It's just getting to the point now, guys, where it's becoming difficult to get into anything that's remotely into PC gaming or anything remotely into anything that requires a processor. I got a message. Yeah, it sounds about right. Saying that message somebody told me about, maybe cell phones going up too, probably. Sounds about right. I mean, they're gonna go up anyway too. It's only a matter of time. Hey, killer. No, it's only a matter of time before the cell phones go up in price because they require processors and RAM too. Granted, it's different than a laptop or a notebook or a gaming rig, but it still requires RAM. It still requires processors. Still requires all that stuff. Um, just requires that stuff, you know. And that right there is a problem, situation we have to deal with. The notebook prices are going to go up. Yeah, if you don't have a notebook, you don't care. But if you are a PC gamer or a console gamer or any gamer at all, you got a phone, you should take notice and realize that these costs are going up for a reason, and they keep increasing prices. And if Xbox wants to release a new console and cost $1,200, by all means, God bless them. But I guarantee you, it'll be Xbox Two after a couple months after that thing launches. Because there's no way you're gonna sit there and tell me they're gonna fund a $1,200 torpedo is gonna destroy a cripple Microsoft. They just will probably cut Xbox loose at that point. Have Xbox its own company at that point in time. That probably should have since day one anyway to make it stand on its own feet and not have daddy Warbucks Microsoft and fund it. But that's a whole different topic, a different time. It's just to me personally that seems like that the world is going down the toilet when it comes to a technology. That well, it's cool stuff. We can't do anything with it because we have AI that want to take over the world. The company want AI to be everywhere, and I get it. Like I said, if it's helping to find children, helping to cure diseases, I'm all for it. Helping to locate Alzheimer's in somebody who's 40 years old, get proper treatment to help slow it down, or maybe even find a way to cure it now before they're 60 years old. Well, I heard about it. I heard about that. I heard about them trying to get the idea. I heard it may be more like testing the waters, see how they feel by it. I've heard some reports saying that Microsoft and Xbox is trying to test the waters to see if people really want. Because right now, a lot of developers didn't want to do anything with the Xbox X Series because sales were so bad, or sales were not being told or being forthcoming. So they didn't really want to do anything with it. So technically, if they're sending them out to developers, they're trying to find out if anyone's going to be actually wanting to create games for the damn thing. Because that's the only true thing about it. I mean, the only thing I can think of they're doing. Because the Xbox X Series is not a bad console. It's just created by Xbox that puts games on everything from toasters to side panel TV screen on your refrigerator. You can play it in your bathroom while taking a shower. You have a shower TV. It's just that weird to me. It's that corny because they made it that corny. It wasn't because they wanted to take over the world like Skynet. They wanted to get their name out there. Well, they did, but they didn't get the Xbox console out there. You know, I think they should have focused more on the console itself and less on play everywhere, play anywhere. Play anywhere can be a side project that you work on with developers of certain games, but not all of them. Certain indie games, that kind of thing. Yeah, you can play anywhere on your back of your car right when you're going when in your Nissan Rogue that has Wi-Fi built in. Yeah, the kids can play their little cheap games and little low developer games back there, and leave the Gears of War and the Call of Duties for the console and stuff, and maybe PC and PlayStation. Uh, uh, it's not a bad idea to build a small data center out of mini PC right now. It wouldn't be a bad idea at all. To tell you the truth. I think right now, personally, right now, it's another crapshoot, guys. I'm just waiting on the other foot, the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting on the cell phone manufacturers to raise prices up, 60%. I'm waiting on telecommunication, the cable companies raise more prices up. It's going to affect everything because these processor guys are in everything. We don't think they are, but they are. RAM processors, SSDs, that stuff's everywhere. It's hooked into everything. The cash register at the local gas station has, a processor and has RAM and stuff in it. It's just these things happen. Yeah. Well, no, good luck to you with that. It'd be interesting to see or hear about how that works. But you're probably gonna have a lot of struggle, a lot of difficulties because a lot of companies now are struggling with this stuff. There's PC building companies like Falcon Northwest. I've been reading about them. They're expensive stuff. Jay's 2 cents actually, Post has a sponsorship with them sometimes, and their expenses, their rigs are expensive, like 5, 6 grand easy for basic models. That's for your more enthusiasts, right? Who'll spend 5 grand on that stuff. So I'm thinking it's going to hurt everybody. And there's other PC guys out there, other PC companies out there who are struggling too as well. It's just getting to the point now where building anything, even for yourself, not alone a business, is going to be, pretty much going to be stagnant for a while or slowed down. So I'm saying, guys, at least 2 years, 2020, I wouldn't believe it say 2020. I wouldn't say it just did say 30, 2030. I heard one report saying, one YouTuber saying that could be 2030. It was J2 Cents or Gamers Nexus. I don't know who it was. But and it gave me chills is it gave me this, the face, the palm, the face kind of thing like that. Like, man, not 2030. Cause no, we just got out of COVID, not even that long ago. I mean, this crap going on. It's like, man, it's an insanity. Now, I go from a deadly virus that's killing people around the world in the millions to a pretty much artificial intelligence Skynet Terminator thing that may do something. Hopefully, not launch nukes or anything. Hopefully, not launch any nukes or anything at each other. Hopefully not. Well, we don't know this how this is going to work out. I guarantee you, it's not going to be there, guys, to look up porn, in 15 milliseconds. It's this crap it's scary to me. No, we're getting to a new world order where we don't know what's going to happen. We have no clue what is going to be, and it's weird. Got processors going out of whack. We got gas cards going up prices. RAM sticks are astronomical. SSDs, forget about any of the good ones. Yeah, you have to go to the damn freaking bank and get a loan to buy one of those things. God bless you if you can get one a loan. It just seems like it's just really insanity, and it's not going to get any better. Well, guys, I'm gonna cut this video short because I do short videos on Thursday. Because I'm going back to work Friday, so I won't be on tomorrow night. Um, but yeah, guys, appreciate you guys. Yeah, that's good. It's really good. That's really really good. 2024 is not bad either because that was right after. That was kind of after the COVID thing when they lifted in some states. Other states were still having mandates and blah blah blah. And so it wasn't bad then. I mean, prices were stabilizing back then. That's good. And supply and demand coming down. That's good. But we'll catch you guys later. I won't be on till Sunday night or Monday morning or Monday night. I think it. I think a lot of the restrictions were lifting, but a lot of the businesses had their own ordinances, so they could say wear mask, no mask, whatever. If you lived in certain blue states or red states, it depends. Certain cities, it's just by that point in time, it was still going on rough. But I know certain businesses you still had to wear masks a lot, so I think they were lifting a lot of restrictions. But you still had to wear a mask and walk around eating food through a mask or having a mask. It was weird. I knew the sports that was coming back on around like 2023. WrestleMania, the one before that was only in the performance by itself. The one after that was actually only had 25,000 fans in there. Finally, some fans watching wrestling once again was cool. Nah, I watched that. That was pretty cool, WrestleMania. But yeah, guys, that's my video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being on here in the stream. Like I said, I won't be back on by Sunday night, Monday night. I'll probably be back on probably Monday. I'll try to get back on Sunday if I can to do like a weekend roundup recap what I talked about the last 2 weeks, whatever, and have those small discussions. But yeah, I do things. I cut things short on Thursdays because I go back to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so it's gonna be fun. Because I haven't been working like I've been on vacation last weekend, so I have to go back to work, earn money. So guys, like, subscribe, and ring that bell if you haven't already. If you have, great, welcome aboard my channel. Got plenty of videos of a fat guy rambling for the last 13, 14 years. So see you later. Peace out. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Peace.